Dreams and Spirits, Part 5. Hungry? Hello and welcome back. I hope I didn't scare you too much in the last video of this series. I know, it's intense, and people might not be comfortable knowing these things or having their children know these things, but results can't be found when you're comfortable, can they? And like it or not, you and everyone you know and love are already being affected by these things, so you might as well become wise to these evils so that you can learn to properly protect yourselves. The primary way to do this is not sinning. But even when you abstain from sin, we can still dream of the craziest things because we have old covenants, ancestral covenants, and sins that we don't really recognize as sin. So in this episode, we'll discuss something that I'm sure we all do every day, but don't realize we shouldn't be doing at night in our dreams. When you sleep, do you ever dream of eating or drinking? What are you eating? What happens after you've eaten? Where did you get the food from? Is anyone eating with you? And what does it taste like? These are all very important questions, and the answer to each one can reveal a lot about your spiritual state and the covenants you might have formed or broken. So let's begin. As I mentioned before, our spirits aren't fed with food or water, but by the word of Yahuwah. So we shouldn't really be seeing ourselves eating in our dreams, especially depending on where you are or who you're with and what you're eating. We'll look at some biblical references as we go along too. You know your girl love Bible. If you have seen yourself eating in your dreams, the context in which you're doing so matters a lot. Were you eating something that is biblically unclean, like pork, or snakes, or spiders, or shrimp, or crab, or, bald eagles? There's just so many things you shouldn't eat. If so, you may be taking in some unclean or evil doctrines or ideas. Let's go to Matthew chapter 16, verses 5 to 12. And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread. Then Yahushua said unto them, Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, Is it because we have taken no bread? Which when Yahushua perceived, he said unto them, O ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves, because ye have brought no bread? Do you not yet understand, neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000, and how many baskets ye took up? Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many baskets ye took up? How is it that ye do not understand that I spake it not to you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees? Then they understood how he bade them not to beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Just like there are animals and foods that Yahuwah doesn't want us to consume, there's also information he doesn't want us to consume. We don't need to know certain things. When we know too much, it can be harmful to us. It may even be something that is just witchcraft, and we don't recognize it as such, so we believe it or think that it's acceptable when it's not. Be careful what you take in, what you see, hear, and attempt to learn. You don't want to take in anything that Yahuwah feels is unsuitable for us. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Even if there is a purpose for it, and it's not unclean to all Yahuwah's creation, it can still be unsuitable for us as mortal beings. Next, if you're not eating disgusting food, do you eat greasy food, or fatty food, or food that looks odd? Is it identifiable at all? We all know greasy, fatty, sugary, and overly salty foods are bad for us. So, we shouldn't expect to eat things like mixed sloppies and grimace face shakes every day. We shouldn't be eating them at all. They're literally poison. Literally. When eating sloppy, McGreasy, junior fatty, sugary, or otherwise questionable food in dreams, you could be ingesting spiritual poison. most likely given to you by a witch or an unclean spirit. There are various reasons why a witch or unclean spirit would want to spiritually poison a person, but it's almost always to the end that the person is no longer spiritually clean enough to do Yahuwah's work and will need to cleanse themselves first in order to regain the necessary authority. Let's go to James chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. This is one of my favorites. Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahuwah. Resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. Draw nigh to Yahuwah, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. If someone is giving you delicious, unbelievably beautiful food, they could be casting a spell on you in order to steal from you or deceive you. What better way to get someone's trust and to get their guard down than to give them something that appeals to them? Hey, it worked on Edmund. He betrayed his siblings and almost became a slave to a witch. And it worked on Lucy. She was abducted by a fawn. And on Coraline, she almost had her soul stolen. And Snow White, we can't forget her. She went into an enchanted coma. And Esau, he lost the birthright. And Eve, she caused every human to receive a death spirit, though received the promise from Yahuwah that she and all of her descendants would be redeemed by the blood of his son Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah, Yahuwah, he is so merciful. Now, after you've eaten in your dreams, what happens? Do you wake up? Does the scene change? Well, if you've woken and you feel full, you really might be full of an unclean spirit. If your stomach starts rumbling and grumbling, pray. And even if it doesn't, pray. Ask Yahuwah to forgive you for eating in your dreams and remove anything evil you've consumed, and ask him to break any evil covenants you formed. Don't just forget about it either. Pray until you've passed the evil thing and your stomach settles. If the scene changes, this also may be an enchanted thing that was used to summon you to someplace else. By eating, you've accepted the invitation. So please, be careful. And again, when you wake up, pray. And if you're able, fast. Fasting helps train your spirit to not just eat because you can. The more self-control you practice during the day, the more disciplined your spirit will be. This doesn't just apply to food, but everything. Attitudes, words, reactions, thoughts. Control yourself, or something else will. Okay, so now, who gave you the food? And is anyone eating with you? If a family member gave it to you and you're eating with your family, then you've got some ancestral spirits or familiar spirits that want you back. If it's a family gathering, you're taking part in the generational sin of your family. Whatever sin they carry, you're a part of it. Break those covenants when you wake up. Pray in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach that those ancestral covenants and familiar covenants be broken and the spirits that come with them be rebuked and bound. Permanently breaking these kinds of ties is hard. It may even mean not taking part in family celebrations and gatherings. It may mean breaking contact permanently if people aren't willing to change their own ways. Pray, and Yahuwah will tell you what to do. If a stranger gives you food and you're eating with a bunch of strangers, you could be eating with a bunch of witches at a spiritual gathering. Yahuwah forbid that these kinds of covenants go unbroken. Again, pray. And make sure you're not in rebellion, because, again, that's a major way a person can be involved in witchcraft and not know. That and music. Be careful what you subject your ears to. We'll get into that later, though. Let's move on to our last question. If and when you're eating, what does it taste like? Is it even food? There are some instances in which Yahuwah himself will give people things to eat. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 2, verses 8 to 10. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto you. Be not thou rebellious, like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat what I give thee. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3, verses 1 to 4. Yeah, whoever cut up these chapters, questionable job. They did a very questionable job. Anyway, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Yashar'el. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Yashar'el, and speak with my words unto them. Ezekiel was asleep when this happened. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 16. Thy words were found, and I did eat them, and thy word was unto me the joy and rejoicing of mine heart. For I am called by thy name, O Yahuwah Eloah of hosts. It seems like he's being poetic, but since he's a prophet, and Yahuwah uses him as a mouthpiece sometimes, what he's saying is probably literal. Okay, let's go to John chapter 6, verses 50 to 51. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread, which came from the heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Now, when Yahuwah's word became flesh, he came to show and to tell us how we should be living our lives and worshiping his Father. Consuming that kind of information can save a life. Finally, let's go to Revelation, chapter 10, verses 9 to 11. And I went unto the angel, and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand, and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, and nations, and tongues, and kings. See, not all eating in the Spirit is bad, but it seems most times, if you're eating something from Yahuwah, it will not be food, but his word. For some, it looks like books, scrolls, or papers, which makes sense since his word is the food that our souls desire. This has been a lot. Get off the internet and do some thinking and processing, do some reading and repenting. Go break some covenants and give thanks to our Eloah. Hallelujah.